Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video. And today we have one of my very special friends. So today we have CA Shubham Agarwal. Shubham is also a chartered accountant. And हम कल बात भी कर रहे थे कि अब हम पुराने जमाने के हो गए. Like we've qualified for 5 years back. So it's just been like an old era since we have qualified and now we've started working. So Shubham is also sadly a part of that era where it's been for 5 years for us having qualified and Shubham is currently working in KPMG. So to all the viewers, आज हमारा discussion point ये रहेगा कि how you can make a career in audit. We'll try to know कि Shubham की day-to-day job क्या रहती है, what does Shubham do, and if you want to have a solid career like Shubham, what can you do? What skill sets are there which you can target, and what package you can expect as a fresher. So these would be discussion points for our video, and thanks Shubham again for being with us today.
Thank you, Prachi.
Cool. Shubham, so we'll just start with the question. We'll just fire it at you. So जैसे आपने क्वालिफाई किया फिर सबसे पहला मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है बिकॉज काफी सारे ऐसे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं यंग वो जस्ट क्वालिफाइड परसों रिजल्ट आया क्वालिफाई हुए तो हाउ वाज योर अप्रोच आपका कैसा अप्रोच था दैट हाउ यू स्टार्टेड टू लुक आउट फॉर जॉब्स लाइक वाज इट थ्रू लिंक्डइन वाज इट थ्रू नौकरी was it through the ICI campus placement only so if you could just shed a light on that.
Yeah, so like I qualified my May 2019 attempt. So like back then, I'll be truly honest, LinkedIn was something which I resorted to at very last because मतलब अब पढ़ने के पहले you shut off all your social media and everything. So LinkedIn was also one of them. But my first job I landed through my colleague who was my actually senior during my articleship time. So he was working in PwC back then. And I happened to reach out many people like physically because since it was a pre-COVID time, 2019. So that helped me a lot. And luckily I was able to land my first break through him only. So a senior of my articleship time. So yeah, I could say that early advantages of having a network or dual advantage of also doing a good articleship. So that was how I
Yes,
landed my first job.
yes, that is like hitting two birds with an arrow. So हाँ guys हम LinkedIn को तो बहुत ज्यादा importance देते हैं which is the time also but more often than not we forget the advantages of the old stage networking. So if you've just passed out you must be in some alumni groups, some city groups, some groups, try reaching out to people there because a lot of times people do have vacancies in their organization and a referral does also work very well. So don't be afraid to reach out to your old peers, old colleagues, old articleship, industrial training friends, seniors, and ask them for something. Cool. Thanks, Shubham. My next question to you is कि ऑडिट जैसे अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा समुद्र है हम जब सीए फाइनल में होते हैं तो हम पढ़ते हैं ना ऑडिट ऑफ से बैंकिंग एंटिटीज एनबीएफसीज फाइनेंशियल नॉन फाइनेंशियल then there is stat audit internal audit so there is like a whole wider group at audit so अगर आप viewers को बता पाए कि what exactly in this wider group of audit that you are a part of एंड नेक्स्ट ऑल्सो कि अगर किसी को कोई फ्रेशर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट है उसको आना हो तो हाउ ही कैन बिल्ड फॉर दैट.
Yeah, so when I started or decided to like build a career in audit, so like before that, I have spent around a couple of years with PwC in mergers and acquisition tax. So like there I picked up this habit of reading financial statement because that only involved reading like a whole lot of financial statements. So I would have read around 250 financial statements listed and listed during the span of 2.5 years. So that actually gave up my and built up my interest in audit. Now the challenge in front of me was also it was a COVID time, 2021 mid. So like what to choose, India audit, global audit, and like everything because during that time the domain was not the only thing that would have helped you. It was the survival part as well because quite a layoffs were happening, the compensations were not up to the mark, and there were a whole lot of many other factors. So I thought even if I pursue audit, I want a specialization. because as you mentioned, audit, like there is a plethora of audit. We have got bank
Correct.
audits. First, we have got Indian offshore audit, the global audits. Now, then we have got a sub-specialization, whether you have to go for banks, manufacturing entities, trading, financial, and so on. So I was lucky enough to get my break with EYGDS in the financial services audit. And it was the mutual fund audit, to be specific, for the UK-based mutual funds. So from there, I picked up my interest, and it was actually like great to have that specialization, because what happens, or what I have been seeing as a mentor to the newly qualified chartered accountants, they pursue a particular domain, but when they are not able to get into it, they just settle for अच्छा big four में audit तो मिल गया, which I believe should be the approach when the world is totally shut down to you. You are not able to land up any job or something, but try to target a specialization. And like this is how I came under financial services audit, where I have an exposure with the mutual funds, private equity, hedge funds, both listed and unlisted. So to be specific, I would say it's wealth and asset management, private equity audits.
Nice. Thanks, Shubham. And this is such an interesting field. Like I often hear about it through Shubham, and this is extremely interesting. Shubham, so like if there is a viewer who's watching this video and they want to get into this type of, financial services or private
Mhm.
equity, mutual fund, hedge funds audit, what skills do you need? Because now you've also like passed out since a long time. You are also in a senior position in the organization. आपके पास भी बहुत
Mhm.
सारे resumes आते होंगे. So on what basis would you, select or accept a resume? What is that extra tip जो होती है ना, वो that extra
Mhm.
advantage that you think is maybe missing or या हो सकता है?
So, like as a fresher, what I have been seeing in majority of the mindset and the resumes is that they just want to uh, build up their resume using too many courses, or that are available online or on LinkedIn. There is too much noise. So, from a fresher's perspective, I would say stop running behind them, because as a fresher, we do not have any control on our first job that we would be landing, because majority of the population have their exposure in the articleship, either in the audit field, or it's like ROC works or the overall taxation. Like very few
Correct.
of them are there who get an exposure to Big Four, where they can like integrate like direct tax में articleship किया है, तो they land up a job in tax or IBC or M&A and so on. So, like, first is I would say stop cluttering your resume with any random stuff or any random course, because, like, to be very honest, financial modeling will do you no good if you are a fresher. Because any organization, since it's a very technical field, not to undermine anyone, so they would always prefer someone who is actually having a relevant experience.
Of course.
So now when it comes to audit, I only advise two things to all my mentees. Read a lot. Like this is the one area where the fresher chartered accountants lack. And even I was there like 5 to 6 years back. That when we are going for, say, suppose audit domain and interview, the we read our tuition materials, we read all the materials available online, 100 interview questions and so on. But the main thing that we tend to miss is reading an actual financial statements. Now, it can be of a
Yes.
listed entity or a non-private or a non-public entity. So we should at least read 4 to 5 financial statements before we appear for any first interview of audit, because that will help you to open up your mind how a particular entity or organization works. Because financial statements is the best, I would say, resource that is available at their disposal for a fresher, given the fact he or she may not be able to have an access to their articleship firm again. And the second thing is that suppose if you are targeting, say, private equity firm, I know these are certain terms that are hyped up. Okay, private equity hai to kuch complex hoga. No. Let me tell you the audit concepts or simple accounting concept like debit or a credit. It applies globally,
Correct.
irrespective you
Actually.
are a CA or a CPA or an ACCA. So you have to work on your basics to such an extent that even if they come in a very varied form in front of you, so you are at least able to like show or showcase to the interviewer that your basics are clear. Because even
Absolutely.
today with the freshers, what we struggle is they are not aware of the how to prepare a or how to read a profit and loss statement.
Yes.
So even that basic acumen is lacking. So this would be the second tip from me. Please work on your basics rather than concentrating on the high-end courses to do this or do that, because that is not doing any good to the freshers at the current scenario.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, guys. Matlab, even I've seen in interviews, people fumble. Like if you are in a flow and then just ask them out of the blue, like what is the expense outstanding NG, and uh they're just fumble because
Yes.
always people would focus on something very high end swaps पे focus करेंगे derivatives पे focus करेंगे call पे put पे focus करेंगे. They would just have that set feeded in their brain and they just forget यार basic three golden rules of accounting. What
Yes.
how do you do debit credit? That's a very good tip, Shubham. Shubham, one other thing that I wanted to ask, you put a very good point about courses. Is there any skill like in particular with courses? Like it could be anything. It could be Excel, Python, Tableau, anything that you feel that might give you an edge, and that is doing that could be worth it. So anything in that regard.
So, like, through my association with the private equity or wealth and asset management, I would say first MS Excel is the basic software or application that one should know. Because I have also seen many candidates who are actually very well versed with their theoretical knowledge, or I would say accounting and auditing knowledge, but only because they do not know how to use an Excel, the time that they take to complete a work is generally more as compared to the other. And that is what matter when you are actually on the desk. So please be
Absolutely.
well versed with Excel function like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, using a filter, a pivot table, because in audit you are like by default dealing with a huge amount of data which you need to compress or summarize in such a way that it start making sense to you and your superiors while they review. So first I would say would be the Excel. Second, like there are many tools like we have got data snipper, then even using a PDF, I would say, because I have been learning a lot about the functionalities of PDF such as
Mhm.
Adobe, which I was not even aware of,
Yes.
like where you can use it to your benefit. So I would say if you are a fresher or even someone with experience of a couple of years, there is no required to just specifically go and enroll yourself. But if you happen to stumble across any free courses on like data snipper we have, then how to actually use a PDF, the full version of PDFs, start learning
Mhm.
those because when you hit the job, especially in the big four, these are the things that would be your first line of challenge. So once you're over
Absolutely.
them, then you would be having a more, I would say, extra lead time to learn the other softwares. Like right now, I am having exposure to Bloomberg Terminal, how to utilize it.
Mhm.
Now, like, let me tell you that software, Bloomberg Terminal is absolutely slow, and you are actually required to have a lot of patience to use it. So on the job, you will be getting numerous like a whole lot of new like softwares or applications to learn about. So stay patient. Uh, Clear your basic Excel skills using a PDF or even a Word document because like majority of might not be aware of the compare function available in the Word functionality. So try to like get past to it, and once you know that okay, this I would be doing in the long term, then you can move to specialization, like it could be Power BI, Tableau, or even Python. Like I would say there I know colleagues
Mhm.
in my organization who has migrated from audit to some administrative
Mhm.
departments, so now where they are required to build a lot amount of dashboards, and for building dashboards Power BI is your go-to application. Then if you want to
Yes.
like work with the
Yes. Yes.
markets and
Mhm.
valuations, Bloomberg is your go-to application. So these are something which your organization will be providing you on the job. Like
Yeah.
Alteryx being one of them. All the big fours, I
Mhm.
suppose, they are
All
providing
the
Alteryx
reports are
training.
metrics, yeah.
So it is basically an on-the-job process learning, not required to burden yourself with all these learnings pre-hand. Even if you want to focus, just read financial statements as much as possible.
Cool. Thank you so much, Shubham. We just have one quick last question, and that is how much a fresher can expect. Like I have been thinking it's still in the 9 to 12 LPA range, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
Like it varies. India, Big Four India, they are going up till 10, 10 and half. And they, if you happen to be someone with a Big Four articleship or say top six firms or even with an industrial training, you can expect another addition of a lakh or something. Plus signing bonus or relocation bonus depends upon organization to organization, which may again vary between say 75, 80,000 up to 75, 80,000. And even in Big Four globals, the average is around 9.25. Again, accompanied by relocation bonus or signing bonus, depending
Mhm.
upon your experience. And if you happen to be a rank holder, then definitely you will be
Of course,
treated in
huh?
a different league altogether. So averages you can say around 9.25.
Cool. Um, guys, thank you so much. All of the viewers, thank you so much for watching the video. That was it, and we are wrapping this session. And can't thank enough CA Shubham Agrawal. Also, guys, one fun fact that I missed, and जो मुझे ये conversation के दौरान याद आया, Shubham himself is a mentor. Like he has been in touch with so many students and young professionals as well. And he always has his good, good side where he would want to help as many people as he can. So feel free to reach out to him as well, and please feel free to reach out to me. And if you like that video, please do not forget to subscribe me at CA Prachi Upadhyay. Shivam, thanks again for being here with us today.
Yeah. Thank you, Prachi. It's an honor.